for you today. Today is going to be the opening video for what I wish I knew when I first started tanking. And honestly, it's going to be a long one. It's like a 25-minute video, but it's going to focus on getting through tiers 1 through 3 effectively and efficiently. First, when you start off, you're going to go through training and proving grounds. I encourage you to complete your training here. It will give you a leg up on your other new players that choose to jump right into multiplayer. Then there are war stories. Once again, I encourage you to complete these. You will learn and strengthen your basics like angling, using cover, hitting weak points, hitting drive wheels, using the repair wheel, utilizing comms, and on top of that, you'll gain some silver and XP to help you through the low tiers. If you don't want to, I can't blame you too much because the gameplay isn't too exciting, and playing with and against bots can become annoying at times. However, the least you'll do is click on every war story because you're going to receive a free driver. He's going to come with a free skill, and you can put these drivers in any tank from their designated nation for free. Don't use them till at least tier 4, but honestly, I think tier 5 is a better choice. Now I'm going to talk about lines to go down that will effectively bring you to the most tier 10s. Starting off with France, the heavy line, you'll get 3 tier 10s and probably is a tad bit more new player friendly, but the scout line is going to bring you to 4 tier 10s. Great Britain, heavy line is going to bring you to 5 tier 10s, and this is actually a great line to start down. Next, Germany, the Tiger P line is going to get you 4 tier 10s, and the Tiger P itself isn't a bad tank, but it's not as good as the Tiger 1. However, the tanks leading up to it are my favorite grind, filled with competitive tanks. After Germany, we have Russians. When it comes to Russia, get the T-34, unlock the A-43 and the MT-25, and these will lead you to 9 tier 10 tanks. After the Russians, we have the Americans, and honestly, when it comes to America, grab the M4, unlock both the mediums, and you'll end up with 3 tier 10s. After this, it's your choice to pick 1 or 2 lines from any of the Italian, Polish, which I don't recommend for new players, Swedish, Czechoslovakian, Japanese. Finally, the Chinese line will get you 4 tier 10s, the medium scout / heavy line. Here we go, buying the Fiat 3000. Crew will be at 50%. At this point, you don't have the silver. Even if you do, your drivers are not going to be in your tanks long enough to develop skills. At tier 5, if you're not running premium, and tier 6 if you are, that's when you should start with 75% crews, or 100% crews if you want to spend the gold on it. Alright, so our first battle, we're on Province. Low tiers is usually a vision game, and with a 50% crew, we can't win it. So I'm going to utilize the beginning of the game to get advanced under their ridge. If they're not in position, they're not going to spot me, or if they do spot me, they'll be shooting on the move. Okay, so I've positioned myself in an aggressive location, but I'm going to get spotting damage, which will help my XP. Now, also at low tier, people will likely YOLO you, and without too many hit points, it can hurt a lot. But at least he pays for it. Now, the game is left in the hands of my teammates, and it wouldn't hurt to watch and learn tendencies of the map. But if you're crunched for time, then you should just leave and grab your next tank for battle. Once again, guys, this is how you're going to start and proceed down any line in the game. The playstyle will vary if you go to Tank Destroyer or Arty. To start us off, the best thing to do is take advantage of the premium time you're given to start out. I'm going to be using premium in this example and no free XP or equipment or skilled crews to simulate the new player experience. You're also going to get a couple of offers that are worthy of purchasing, and only if you could utilize them. First is 3 days of premium and a tier 3 premium Locust. I'm not a huge fan of the Locust or tier 3 premiums in general, but it'll help you train crews, build some silver, get some free XP. The second offer is 7 days of premium and a tier 5 M4 Ripper. It's not the best tank, but it's not a terrible one either. Both offers are 75% off, costing you $12 together. However, if you don't have time to take advantage of the premium time, I'd say don't waste your money. If so, then spend the $12. It's going to help your enjoyment of the game, get you through tiers 1 through 3. Okay, so we didn't even do that much, but with a win, we're able to earn enough XP to unlock both the tanks that are next in line here. Now, I'm going to look for the best penetrating gun out of the two, and that will decide for me on which tank I will get. So let's look at the 1441 first. The big gun you can get 52 pen, but I'm going to look at the small one. You get 39 pen for 40 damage, 27.27 rounds a minute. And on the other tank you get 39 pen, 40 damage, but only 24 rounds a minute. The big gun is a little pop gun, and I'm really not interested at all in that tank. So figure out which one I'm gonna get, and let's unlock it. Alright, moving right along. Once again, we're gonna go with a 50% crew. They won't develop skills in the lack of time that they're gonna spend in this tank. Then I'm gonna sell the Fiat 3000, and we will begin our first battle in the tier 2 on Liberty Falls. Now, the one line is the high ground, so to me it's the most important side. Since my teammates are spotting for me, I don't need to rush in. Plus, with my spawn being furthest east on my team, combined with my stock tank, I'm not really able to get into a forward location anyways. Pay attention to your minimap. If you haven't changed your minimap yet, you still got the round compass. Hold the back button on your controller until it turns into this square minimap. It's going to help you with map awareness and kind of help you learn the maps, how they develop, because generally they sort of play out the same way. Now, using the minimap, find advantageous shots like I have right now. When you have them, you need to take advantage of them. And now I don't want this guy to die and be left by myself as he pushes. I want to support him. Prefer me to go first since I have the health, but he's gung-ho and he goes and gets himself killed. Now these two split up, which allows me to isolate them and then utilize this ridgeline to kill this last guy. And that is game over. Alright, as you can see, endgame stats, not a phenomenal game, but it's going to be enough to unlock the upgrades. Now, when do you decide to upgrade your tank versus save the silver for the next tank? To me, the theory is, if I can get a better gun, it's always worth it. Other pieces of equipment just will determine how aggressively I'm allowed to play in the tank. You can see as we purchase upgrades, the next upgrade goes down both in XP and in cost. I still need a little more XP to get the tier 3, so we'll jump into the next game. Alright, so here I'm on mines, and on mines I will go to the middle. If you're in the north spawn, don't push past the rocks. Tanks will be camping in back and they will make you pay, especially at low tiers when you can't spot them. Pay attention to your map once again. The 1 line and the 9 line flanks. We're going to clean up the middle. And you'll see some of my tanks just push forward down the 5 line. They're going to get killed, like I said before. And then watching my flank, I see that there's a guy behind us. Now I'm going to come up around these rocks to try to get shots in behind him, and he's either aware of it or he just pushed up on my teammate. And now we're in a 2v3. I'm going to put this guy down. He's got a friend with him. I'm going to put him down too, and now I'm hopefully going to get, and I'm not going to get back in time to save my teammate, but I'm going to use this little crease right here to cover the cap. I break his motor, and we shut him down. So endgame results, not the greatest. We do pick up 1,000 XP. It takes second on the team. The key to success of getting through these low tiers is wins plus premium time. I'm not doing anything special in these games, and even if we lose with premium, it's still going to add up fairly quickly. Alright, so I said we're going to wait till tier 5 or 6 before we put a 75% crew in, so we'll throw a 50% crew in our tier 3 tank. Here at tier 3, the first upgrade on this tank is fairly cheap XP and silver wise, and it's for a better gun. I'm assuming at this point you have a little bit of free XP stored up. You're going to be able to unlock the first package. At tier 3, we're at risk at getting put into tier 5 matches, so you need HE shells to reliably track tanks. You could buy 3 to 5 heat shells here if you wanted to, but since we're playing on a budget, I'm going to skip it and wait for tier 4. Depending on your silver will determine whether you'll have consumables. Buy yourself a small repair kit, small med kit, and small extinguisher. Get used to putting them in the same order on every tank for you to be able to use them quickly in the heat of battle. So let's sell the tier 2 and jump on to the next game. We're going to be on Himmelsdorf, and this is going to be a 5 match. Generally I'm going to go to the 8 line, but we have enough tanks there already. So instead I try to cover our left flank, and unfortunately the red team is super aggressive here, and I am going to pay for it. And really, our tier 5 isn't participating, which is a big reason why we're going to lose here. They're going to come around the corner on me. I'm going to try to get some shots off. You see, we just don't stand a chance. We have a Churchill 3, which is a seal clubbing tier 5 heavy tank, and he is just lollygagging back here. So by the time he gets his gun in the game, it's a little too late, and you're going to see how tracking is so important. There's a lot of tanks that are going to be shooting at him here, and he wasn't able to move anywhere, which ended up getting him killed. Nobody was doing damage to him besides Artie, but the smaller tier 3 tanks were actually just keeping him tracked to make sure Artie gets the shots in him. We only earned 200 XP. I know that's not enough, so on to the next one. Next game is going to be Great Wall, and on Great Wall we're going to head to the southwest corner. And this really isn't a good spotting map, so getting forward and spotting from my team isn't ideal. At this point, it's just trying to get close to the match, get my gun in the game, and hopefully make an impact that'll help not only win the game, but get some damage and XP so we can move on. And unfortunately, I get YOLO'd here. And it's also team destruction, which we kind of separated too much. You can see majority of my team took the valley, and the valley in the middle of the map is, in my opinion, the worst location you can go on here, because you can get shot at from both high points on the map. And you know how I feel about high ground. It's the most important thing on the game, and we don't take it. So it isn't out of hand yet. It is a 2v6, which is doable at low tier. But you're going to see that this guy just can't get his shots in, and not being able to kill that guy was pretty huge. They shut both our guys down, and we lose once again. So we only earned 600 XP. That's enough for the next upgrade, but it's not a gun, so I'm really just not interested in spending silver on it. Alright, on to the next one. So this is going to be Ghost Town in a 4 match. In Ghost Town, when I start in the south spawn, I'm going to head up to like the A-B line, maybe more so probably the D line, and I'll usually stop in D4 and wait to see what's coming, but I feel like I have a lot of teammates up here, so I should be safe to push out. As we come across here, Artie swings a shell at me. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I can probably kill their Artie. Unfortunately, there's a medium tank sitting back there. So, a terrible game. I'm just hoping that we win it, that I can move forward with the whole grind here. And it looks like my platoon on my team is going to be able to bring this home for me. This guy's just got to clean up some Artie. He does that. This guy's just got to go 1 for 1 with the enemy tank, and he shuts him down. And this one's going to allow me to get 1300 XP. Alright, that's enough to unlock the final upgrade. We're just going to need to win a couple more games. If we're able to win them, we'll be able to unlock the tier 4, and we won't need to spend the silver on the actual upgrades themselves. So jump back into battle. We're going to be on Comarin, and the south usually has players sniping in the south field. So I like to use the cover the buildings on the one line and work my way down to try to get them spotted, get some spotting assist. The middle on this map is very important, so if nobody goes there, I'll head towards that direction, but in this game, I had enough tanks going to the middle. I felt like my vision getting the southern field botted was going to make a bigger difference for my team. As we move south, we can't find shots, so I'm going to keep moving. Seeing on the map and knowing where the enemy team is allows me to be aggressive. You can see how quickly we just shut this down. We win, getting to end game stats, lock down 1600 XP, which I know that's not going to be enough to unlock the tier 4 tank, so we're going to have to play another one. Our next game, we're going to be back in Great Wall, and once again, I'm going to be going south. Alright, so we're going to head south to the southwest corner. And a lot of my team's going to the middle of the valley, and now they decide that they want to kind of stop towards the base. And then the problem with that side of the map is if you get spotted, you can get shot from different high points, and it puts you in different crossfires. Now I can see that they're on our base, so I kind of want to make a play to put cap pressure on their base. If my teammates get back to reset, at least I'll have cap pressure down. And unfortunately, it took me way too long to get rid of their Artie, so they cap us. So getting to endgame stats here, with a loss we only earn 500 XP, so we're going to need to play at least one more. And next match we're on Wide Park, and this one I'm just going to work the mid-ridge with my gun depression. Trading effectively is the important thing, conserving your hit points till the end, and also keeping your gun active. So it's a fine line in a balancing act. You want to conserve your hit points, but you also need to take some damage to be able to give damage. Just poking the ridge, getting opportune shots here. If I'm detected, I'm going to pop back down, and you can see there's only 4 tanks left. Try to rush in here and get some extra damage, but I'm going to be a little too late. I shut him down for the win. So we get to end game stats, and I actually earned 1800 XP here. So let's get back. Is that enough? Sure enough, there you have it. We've unlocked the tier 4. And honestly, that took about 1 hour of my life. Is it tough to grind 1 through 3? Not really, but when you have no clue what you're doing, it does feel like it takes a long time. So just to recap, don't waste your money on anything but gun upgrades. Don't pay for 75%, 100% crews. They're just not necessary. You're not going to be able to train the skills. Make sure you go through Proving Grounds and War Stories. That's going to not only help you hone your skills, but it's going to allow you to get drivers that you're going to be able to plug in your tanks for free, give you a head start, jump start on other new players. Before I let you go, just want to talk about one more thing. Obviously there's been a lot of hate towards the nerfs that were brought to the Italian line from Watt Council, and first of all, the PC's balance is way worse than ours in my opinion, so they need to have Italians cranked up to keep them competitive on their game. And second, people that haven't even played these tanks are crying about numbers that are just put on a piece of paper before even playing the tank themselves. So yeah, I know it's tier 4, but let's take a look at the top gun on this tank, and it does 110 damage with 97 pen. Wow, that seems like a lot for a tier 4 medium tank. It's got 12.77 rounds a minute. Let's take a look at Polish. This tank does 75 damage with 62 pen, and it does have 19.35 rounds a minute, but no penetration near the Italian tank. How about Swedish? It's got two options here. The first one does 110 damage with 88 pen, 13.48 rounds per minute. Or you can get the 57mm that does 75 damage with 91 pen, 22.64 rounds per minute. Well, those were newer lines. Let's compare to the older ones. Go to Germany. German Panzer 38 NA, one of my favorite tier 4 tanks. It does 70 damage with 67 pen, 24 rounds a minute, or it has a 2cm option, but really that option is garbage. Finally, how about Russian? Two options here as well. First does 55 damage with 75 pen, 28.57 rounds a minute, or the 37mm. Honestly, that gun is trash too. The reason I give you those numbers is because DPM only matters if you're penning your shots. That's all I got for you guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next video.